Hey everyone, welcome back to a Sporty Spence video. Today I'm bringing you a depressing video, I guess you could say. I'm just talking about just how bad the Jazz have been since the NBA All-Star break. I think they've only won like 3 games since then. It's been a month. So the Jazz are currently 29-42 in the Western Conference, and they've lost 5 in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. Pretty sad. They're 9-27 on the road. There's just a lot of interesting things that are going on with the Jazz. A lot of fans and even myself just have a hard time watching. Today I put the Jazz versus Houston Rockets game on for maybe 10 minutes and I had to turn it off because the play was so awful. I couldn't stand watching the Jazz be that bad. They lost the game 147 to 119 points. I don't even know who scored the most points. I do know that Chris Dunn got ejected from that game, and this team is just completely different than what we saw in the month of December and January when they were fighting for that play-in spot. Now, I'm going to say beforehand, I'm no general manager. I hope the Jazz make a winning trade move. I think they're going to re-sign Larry Markkinen to a max contract. That's what I hope. I'm a huge Larry fan, and I want the Jazz to win with Larry Markkinen, and I hope Larry Markkinen wants to win with the Jazz. But in order for that to happen, Larry Markkinen has to understand that it might be still a painful process. Next year will be his 8th year in the league. I think that he's just such a good star for Utah and the people of Utah. It seems now we're just tanking for like a 7th or 8th pick again. I really haven't watched them. I went and saw them play the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Larry Markkinen, Jordan Clarkson, or John Collins, they didn't even play. I traveled from St. George all the way to Salt Lake, and I didn't even see the players that I wanted to see play. So I have a couple of opinions on resting players. We'll see if Jordan Clarkson's still on the team. He manages to stick around. The Jazz have about $35 million in cap space next year. A lot of the NBA insiders, like Tony Jones, say the Jazz are going to use a lot of that money to renegotiate the contract with Larry Markkinen and give him a lot of money. I think Larry Markkinen deserves that amount of money, and I hope that they make winning moves to at least make the playoffs next year and start giving these rookies this year some tough playoff competition. Now, the West is really stacked. I'm not getting my hopes up that they're going to make the playoffs next year. I think that should be a goal. It would be Will Hardy's 3rd year of his 5-year contract, and I doubt Will Hardy wants to go 3 years without making the playoffs. That's 3/5 of his contract without making the playoffs. We'll see. The free agent game isn't the greatest this upcoming off season as well. Trades are just the way for the Jazz to go, it seems. I do want to say I really like Sexton. I think that he's played through all these games. He hasn't rested or anything. Jazz fans are just having a hard time right now. These past 2 seasons have been exactly the same. The first half of the season, we're fighting for that play-in spot. We're fighting for playoff. We're competitive. And in the second half, it's just like we're watching a G League team out there. None of the fan favorites are even playing. We're having to watch. No disrespect to these G League guys, but I don't travel 6 hours or 4 hours to watch a G League player start in a game and lose to the Timberwolves by like 20 or 30 points. I think the Jazz have a lot of problems they need to fix. I think they're working on fixing them. For now, it's just really hard to be a Jazz fan watching this team. This team specifically, I have hopes for the players on the team. Just for now, it's hard for me to watch them lose by 30 plus points to the Houston Rockets. Sorry for this kind of sad rant again. I just wanted to get some things off my chest about what I'm feeling for the Jazz right now. At the beginning of the season, I was very excited. I loved like watching the games, and now I have a hard time even clicking on watching the games just because they're just not worth watching anymore, especially since Larry Markkinen's not playing. And he's my favorite player. I really hope that the Jazz do get better next year and that we see them in the playoffs sooner rather than later. I understand rebuilding is hard and not an easy thing to go through. Thank you all. Leave your thoughts on if you want the Jazz to make the playoffs next year, and if not, just explain why. I think it'd be interesting. I like gaining other aspects of people and their inputs on what the Jazz should do in this rebuild, because they probably are different than mine, and they're probably different than mine are probably different than what you think, you know? So anyway, thank you all for watching.